fresh ingredients, fats, proteins, fats, with good ones. And it's not putting dry kindling on the fire where it will just burn through it so efficiently, bring out barely see any smoke. It'll keep really good heat, and it'll just be very, very vibrant to the smokes. It's the perfect way of working your body. And I'm somebody who has struggled with this over years. Do a lot of exercise. I'm conscious, but I also am somebody who's very impulsive. So it's something that I struggle with. Moderation is something I really battle hard with. So between foods, the problem we live in this world is that the bad foods are quite addictive, like chocolate, sugar, salt. These things that they just apply foods are addictive. They're like drugs. The body gets a taste and it craves more and more and more. And ultimately what can happen is you then fall into a trap of just consuming large, vast quantities of poor foods. And that's kind of where I've been on numerous occasions, and I continue to battle this on a daily basis. But one thing about ADHD that I think is really, really useful, we call it ADHS, attention deficit hyperactivity superpower, because when you can hold it, you're good at kind of building system processes, counteracting the inefficiencies and disorders within ADHD. So one of the things that I found is create rules and systems, routines, rituals, habits, you know. There's a few things that I've done to enhance my nutritional intake. Now this isn't going to go deep on science of nutrition. It's just going to give you some hacks that will help you battle what you can when. So what you can do, start tracking what you eat. Now I'm not a calorie count. Some people swear by it. There is a lot of science behind it. You should take in or big things come into play when factoring in. Quite interesting to do it for short periods, trying to get an understanding of what is consumed for calories. But really, it doesn't really tell you what fats, bad fats, good so come down to simplifying my world. Challenging, basically. And you can help me. So what I've used is now, and it's something that I revert to on a regular basis. So the first rule of thumb is if it's fresh off the ground or there's no form of protein, so whatever it is, it's just been packaged and sold. So if you go to a butcher, greengrocer, you know, quite often a lot of your produce, fruits, vegetables, proteins, depending on where you get them from, and there's no kind of additives or preservatives added to them, quite often that's fine. That's a really good place to start. So avoiding processed foods is a really good starting point. But secondly, we live in a world now where, unfortunately, processed foods that are bad for us are more affordable than healthy non-processed foods. So for many of us, we won't have the choice of what we eat to that level. So you're going to have some form of processed foods that you consume. So I use an app called Yuka, Y-U-K-A, and it's based in, well, it works in the UK, it may work in foreign countries as well. But the reality is it scans the barcode. So anything that you purchase, you can scan, and it will very, very quickly give you a score out of 100 on how good or bad it is for you. Now, the closer to 100, the better it is for you. And the more green the colour, the better it is for you. And that's it scores, the redder the colour is, the worse it is for you. So what it does is it takes into account the kind of nutritional information, and it has an algorithm that scores it. So anything with additives, preservatives, colourings, all these unnatural chemicals will lower the score, basically. So what it will do is it will give you a score. So I have a very simple rule. If it's not green, i.e. it's not 50 or above, so you get, you'll find that the reality is it's really hard to find processed foods that score incredibly highly, but what it enables you to do is to avoid the really bad ones. And things like cereals, for example, and snack bars and crisps, just by finding the better ones for you, the marginal gains you're going to benefit from eating better foods. Now, they're not great foods, but they're better. And over the course of time, that's going to make a huge, huge impact. It's the difference between putting kind of soggy leaves that make the fire smoke and splutter to maybe, I don't know, wood from trees in the woods. So it might have some bark or some kind of moss or something on it, but it will generally burn through it a lot more effectively. And the benefit of it is if you find something that scores really bad, it's incredibly easy to do. It gives you suggestive alternatives of similar products that score good. So it allows you to make just out feeling like you're missing out, and that's really. So snacks I eat, find good alternatives. All the cereals I eat, find good alternatives. Combine that with eating kind of processed proteins, fruit and vegetable juice. It keeps me more often than not on the straight and narrow. The second thing to kind of understand is that you're going to give in to temptation from time to time, especially if it's hey, deviate and cheat. As long as it's isolated cases, like every other day, I try and limit my cheats to maybe 1 month, and that means that I still get kind of food like chocolate and things that I do want every now and then, but it doesn't take it. The next thing though is the hunger scale, or an easy way to kind of simplify this is I often eat for the sake of eating, not because I'm hungry, just because I'm bored. My body says go and eat something. I like eating, and that's a really dangerous habit to get into. So a really easy way of avoiding this is, am I hungry enough to eat an apple? If the answer is yes, it's highly likely you are genuinely hungry. If the answer is no, it's probably just that, you know what, the only thing I have available to eat now, I could probably give it a miss. It tells you that your body isn't that hungry. So go more, because you just need to eat for the sake of eating. The other way is the hunger scale, by rating your level of hunger from kind of 1 to 10. 10 being you are literally going to chew your arm off, and 1 being that you're so stuffed that you're almost comatose. And you want to kind of be finding space within the kind of about the 7 or 8 mark where you want to be looking at eating. So that's another way of doing it, but I prefer the eating an apple scenario because it's a lot kind of easier for me to kind of process and ask myself that question very, very quick and very, very so they're just a few hacks. I'm not going to go on any more crazily in-depth information here, but to hopefully help you counteract eating for the sake of eating, or gluttony, and hopefully help you make some changes to still enjoy foods that you like, which are probably unhealthy in some category, but it allows you to enjoy slightly healthier alternatives. The marginal gains there, how compounded over time, can make a massive, massive difference to your treatment you take in, and be healthier for much, much longer. So yeah, learnings from my diary today are: don't overcomplicate nutrition. So simple rule, just try and avoid processed foods wherever you can. It's going to be very, very difficult to avoid them in some capacity, but if you can try and avoid processed processed foods as much as possible, then it's only going to be a good strategy. Secondly, any processed foods that you do consume, run them through an app like Yuka, which will score them in terms of how many, chemicals, additives, preservatives, colourings, unnatural things are within them, and it'll also score them on their nutritional value, on how good quality the food is for your body. And if it scores particularly bad, replace it with an alternative which scores slightly better, and the compounding impact of that over time is going to be absolutely game changing for you. The other one is the kind of trying to measure whether you really are hungry or whether you're just being greedy. And the way of doing that, try and eat only when you're kind of scoring 7 or 8. So 1 being that you're incredibly full and almost comatose with being full of food. 10 being that you're so starving you potentially bite your own arm off. You can try and eat when you're around 7 and 8. That's not a bad one. The other one which I missed out in the main content of the episode is the 20-minute rule. Your brain will play tricks on your body. So it takes about 20 minutes from food to be consumed in your mouth to go through your system and be digested. Your stomach will say, yes, I'm satisfied now that you've eaten. If you eat and keep on eating, you're not giving your body the chance to tell you that it's now full, and that's where you can end up going into crazy portion sizes. So the 20-minute rule is really good. I normally set a timer, certainly when I'm eating snacks or addictive foods, and after 20 minutes I revert to the next point, which is the am I hungry enough to eat an apple? If you are hungry enough to eat an apple, it's likely that you're hungry. If you're not hungry enough and you pass on the apple, then you're definitely still sufficiently full. So yeah, hopefully those hints and tips will help you out considerably. That's it for me today. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll talk to everyone. But please do, though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days of distance for the world, barefoot style, and do give us a subscribe, share, like, comment, as more people get in front of, the more money we raise, and ultimately the more children's lives we save, which is the single most important reason I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy. See you again.